Coach, congratulations, first of all, on a tremendous week of swimming for your team.
At the 2018 WAC Swimming and Diving Championships in Houston, it was celebration time for the Wyoming men's team.
Getting the trophy and jumping in the pool afterward was pretty awesome.
This was the Cowboys' first ever WAC title and first conference championship in 59 years. For first-year head coach Dave Denniston, it really was pretty awesome.
To win the WAC championship last year was so special because it was something that not only I wanted, but the whole team wanted, and they all had to be at their best to win it.
The journey for Coach Denniston to that pool in Houston began in the small town of Wright, Wyoming. With a population of less than 2,000 people nestled in the northeast part of the state, it hardly seemed like a place for an Olympic caliber swimmer.
I thought, man, if I could swim on a scholarship at Wyoming, that would be huge. I got to where I was faster, and I even asked the coach, I said, well, why didn't you ever recruit me to go to Wyoming? He goes, you were too good.
Denniston signed at national powerhouse Auburn University. The year before he arrived, the Tigers were the NCAA national champions.
You can go just about anywhere and see people that you know, and they know who you are and what you do, and having that at Auburn when I was there was pretty significant because we were national champions.
He was named SEC Freshman of the Year and was a two-time team captain. In 1999, Denniston helped the Tigers win another national team championship. He was also a three-time individual national champ.
I won NCAAs in 1999. I was a 15-time All-American, and I had teammates that were all better than me, so that kept me humble too.
In 2000, Denniston just missed out on the Olympics. In 2004, he moved to California to train in hopes of qualifying for the Games in Athens, but just missed again.
I really wanted to make the Olympic team. My passion was around making the Olympic team. Fourth again. Number 4 is one of my big numbers in life. Got that up.
Top 3 get to go?
Top 2 get to go.
Denniston went through what he calls his quarter-life crisis and battled through depression. That's when the phone rang with an opportunity halfway around the world.
I did get a job offer to coach in New Zealand, and that's when all the Lord of the Rings movies had come out, so I thought, this is a beautiful place. I'll go teach Frodo how to swim, sign me up.
It was while he was waiting to make the move to New Zealand that Denniston went back home to Wyoming, to a family cabin outside of Laramie to go sledding with his old friend Andy Miller. That's when his life would take another unexpected turn.
I decided to go down head first on this sled right off of a cliff, basically, and headed towards a grove of trees and couldn't dodge the trees and smacked one right in the middle of my back. I was conscious the whole time. I was scared. My friend Andy really kept his cool.
Andy went looking to signal the rescue team. He was more than a mile away.
When he was gone and I was coughing up and there all alone, I had a little camera and I videotaped myself saying goodbye to all my friends, my family, people that I loved, just because I didn't know if I was bleeding out or what was happening. Nobody ever saw that, thankfully. I was able to delete it in the hospital when they told me I'd be okay, but that's one of those experiences in life that, you know, hopefully no one would ever have to go through, saying goodbye to everyone that they love.
Dave was rushed to the hospital in Laramie.
And he showed me the x-ray and it looked like just a bag of Legos in the middle of my back. It was just shattered in pieces, the 2 vertebrae, T10, T11. And so then they drove me down to Fort Collins where the neurosurgeon used rods and screws and put me all back together.
Denniston was paralyzed from the middle of his back down.
The other thing that happened when I was in the hospital is I saw a very small select group of people in similar situations that said, you know, this isn't what I planned for my life, but nobody does, and there's a lot of opportunity here, and there's something we can do to make this a good, positive situation.
As part of his physical therapy, Dave went back in the pool. He soon received a call from Jimmy Flowers, a coach who recruited him at Auburn. Flowers was now the head coach of the U.S. Paralympic team.
When I broke my back, said, Dave, I'm not trying to pressure you into this, but if you want to swim again, I know how to do it. I can help you get back into the water. So my coach that I hadn't worked with for over a decade said, Dave, why don't you start swimming again? I said, yeah, Jimmy, let's do it. And we went through an amazing adventure together.
So Dave moved to Colorado. He became captain of the U.S. Paralympic team, qualifying for and competing at the Games in Beijing in 2008.
I got to wear that American flag cap with my name underneath it, and for me, that was always the goal and the dream.
But a year later, tragedy strikes again. Coach Flowers died in a climbing accident outside of Aspen. He was 47 years old. Denniston and his teammates were devastated.
A lot of people, my teammates including me, were at that hopeless moment again of, what do we do now?
Then Denniston had an epiphany. He would apply to be the team's head coach. After getting the job, he led the Paralympic team to the Games in London in 2012. A few years after that, he got a call from Tom Johnson, an old friend who was the head swimming and diving coach at the University of Wyoming. Johnson needed an assistant coach.
It was kind of in a period where I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I also really liked coaching. I loved the college atmosphere.
In 2017, Johnson retired and Denniston became the new head coach.
I'm excited to present to you your new head coach for the University of Wyoming Swimming and Diving program, Dave Denniston.
When we knew TJ was going to retire, I told them I would apply, and you know, it was a pretty long process. It took a little bit of soul searching, but at the end of the day, this is what I really wanted to do.
Which brings us back to the pool in Houston.
When we knew it was going to come down to the end. And we really gelled together that last day and just put forward some phenomenal races.
It was so fun celebrating with those guys and being in the water and just joy. It's just pure joy at that point.
Winning the WAC championship, which is our first conference title in 59 years, was pretty amazing. It's something that has been in the works for a few years, and you know, the guys on the team worked really hard for it.
Now, Denniston is a few years into his job as head swimming and diving coach at the University of Wyoming.
Nice job! Your stroke looks great though. I really like your fly right now. Your turn speed was really nice. Your stroke looked great. I thought it was just a good controlled race all the way through.
While winning is still important, Denniston's journey has taught him there are other philosophies more important to teach his swimmers.
And he's always just been proud of me and told me so, and I think that's been something that's really stuck with me and made me want to perform even better for him in and out of the pool. And I think that's the case for quite a few people on the team.
Dave inspires me a lot. To have someone that went through his circumstances and everything he was able to do afterward is truly inspiring.
If they're inspired by me, great, but mostly I just want to guide them to really be great athletes and great people in life. And we do that through the sport of swimming, which I'll always love.
For the WAC Digital Network, I'm Eric Danner.